L'Eclipse, or The Eclipse when translated into English, was Michelangelo Antonioni's concluding chapter on a trilogy of contemporary malaise, a depiction of the difficulty of connection in an alienating modern world. Antonioni was born into a prosperous family of landowners in Ferrara, northern Italy. As a child, Antonioni was fond of drawing and music. A very talented violinist, he gave his first concert at the age of 9, but with the discovery of cinema in his teens, Antonioni ultimately abandoned the violin. In 1942, Antonioni co-wrote A Pilot Returns with Roberto Rossellini and worked as assistant director on Enrico Fulcinoni's I Do Foscari. In 1943, he traveled to France to assist Marcel Carnet on Les Visiteurs du Soir, and then began a series of short films with Gente del Po, a story of poor fishermen of the Po Valley. These films were neorealist in style, being semi-documentary studies of the lives of ordinary people. In Antonioni's first full-length feature film, Cronaca di un Amore, he broke away from the neorealism he used in the series of short films Gente del Po by depicting the lives of the middle classes. On the surface, L'Eclipse is a love story, with its main character, Vittoria, ending one affair with a writer, Riccardo, and moving on to a new relationship with a stock market trader, Piero. But it's much deeper than that. In L'Eclipse, Antonioni depicts the emptiness and meaninglessness of life in the post-Second World War under the shadow of a constant nuclear threat, represented by the architecture of Rome's EUR district, a distinctively modernist suburb created by Mussolini. Humanity at that point was caught between the promise of modernity and the threat of atomic annihilation. This air of paralysis hangs heavily throughout the film. The film was made in 1962, a year after the Berlin crisis, and during the year of the Cuban Missile Crisis, when we came very close to nuclear annihilation. L'Eclipse also depicts the greed of capitalism, as shown in the mad, chaotic scenes in the Rome Stock Exchange and the obsessive gambling of the character's mother. The location, with distant shots of Benito Mussolini's EUR buildings on the outskirts of Rome, also suggests a meaningless, empty, soulless, brave new world, all overshadowed by the nuclear threat, where people suffer loneliness and depression and feel unable to make long-term commitments because of the uneasy feeling of an uncertain future.